to Stupid Ideas from Bad Creative, Season 2, Episode 4, or Episode 14, however you want to run it. I am Slim, joined by Sid. Hello, Sid.
Hey.
And Sid doesn't know, obviously, what these episodes are. You do, because you've clicked on the video and it tells you what it is. So Sid doesn't know that we're... Yeah.
You don't... blind.
Yep. You don't know that we're talking about Stone Cold getting hit by a car. This is the storyline. Technically, this is maybe possibly cheating a little bit because it starts in the 90s but finishes in 2000s.
Okay.
So we're in 99, basically.
But you know what? This is bad ideas. We don't have to be restricted to the 90s. The season is 90s based though, so
yes.
you know.
Yeah, so
it's close enough.
It's technically cheating. We do start the 90s, so I'm counting it. Right. Do you know the Muffin Man?
Who lives on Drury Lane?
Yeah. What about Stone Cold Steve Austin?
Yeah.
Triple H?
Yes.
Rikishi?
Who?
Okay. The Rock?
Yes.
Jimmy Uso?
Ooh. Yeah. Yeah, we've definitely mentioned the name.
Jey Uso?
Okay. Nope.
Jimmy and Jay are brothers. They are the sons of Rikishi, along with Solo Sikoa. Let's see. Do you know Vince McMahon?
Yeah.
All right, that's cool. We've talked about a few people that's going to be involved here. So we're gonna start at Survivor Series 1999, which is in November. Stone Cold Steve Austin is scheduled to fight The Rock and Triple H for the WWE title. Before he can have the match, though, big match.
That's a fight, yeah.
Yeah, but before he can have the match, he's hit by a car. He's replaced by The Big Show, who actually wins the match. This was done to write Austin off so that he can have neck surgery because he needed neck surgery.
Needed it.
Yeah. All
right.
So for the next year, Austin is on the shelf. So yes, the 90s part of this is now done. He's been hit by a car. He got hit by a car in November of 1999. That is it. Off to the 2000s we go. And so Vince is blaming Triple H for Austin getting hit by a car. Mostly because they're feuding. So
right.
Yeah.
As they were.
Yeah. Austin returns in April of 2000, cost Triple H his WWE title to The Rock, but he doesn't actually come back for another couple of months. He sort of come back just to, it's Austin.
Stir shit up. Yeah.
So a few months later, Austin returns, and he might be slightly pissed off for getting hit by a car.
A car.
Yeah.
I'd be kind of peeved, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if if everybody would be pissed off if they got hit by a car or not. I guess it depends on what you get out of doing.
Yeah, well, this is true.
Yeah, if you had to do something that you didn't want to do, maybe getting hit by a car is pretty good.
Yeah.
Who knows? Anyway, so Commissioner Mick Foley, you know that one. He leads an investigation to find out who hit Austin with a car. It's eventually revealed to be Rikishi, the father of the Usos, right? Okay. And he says, and I quote, "I did it for The Rock." Okay? The Rock is Rikishi's cousin. So, whatever.
I was gonna... Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
That's where I know the brothers from.
Yeah. Yep, they're the cousins of Roman Reigns.
Mm-hmm.
Who, yeah. So, we're in the Anoa'i thing. Anyway, shortly after this, after Rikishi goes, "I did it for The Rock, it was me, I did it." Triple H reveals that he masterminded the whole thing. And that was because of reasons. Mostly due to the fact that Rikishi wasn't getting over as a heel, so they needed somebody else. Which that then obviously leads to Austin trying to kill Triple H. Austin wins the 2001 Royal Rumble, beats Triple H in a 3 stages of hell match at No Way Out, and then beats The Rock at WrestleMania X7, turning heel and aligning with Vince.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, here's why it didn't work. That's because it was very convoluted. You know, first Rikishi did it, then Triple H did it, except Triple H has no relationship with Rikishi, who did it because he wanted to help his cousin win the title. But that didn't even work because Big Show ended up winning it on the show anyway. So, yeah. And I mean, you know, that
And then
the
Big
whole
Show has
the whole
proceeded to where?
do nothing. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, shortly after this, I think he goes back to OVW because I go, you're too fat. So, you know, so none of that makes any sense. Also, Rikishi doing it for The Rock doesn't work because why would Rikishi do it for The Rock and not do it for himself?
And again, like, The Rock hasn't come into this at all, seemingly. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, he was involved. Like, he was involved loosely.
Yeah.
But
I,
like no reason was ever given why The Rock would ask Rikishi to do that,
The Rock didn't
other
because
than to,
when Rikishi says, I did it for The Rock's there going like, why? I didn't say to do that. Why would you do that? Why? Triple H then obviously coming out and saying that he masterminded it, just continues the Triple H and Austin feud, which is just forgotten about.
And like, I'm sure they put, I'm sure they put zero effort into explaining how Triple H masterminded it. He just came out and was like, yeah, it was me.
Well, I'm actually pretty sure that you see the footage of Rikishi running Austin over when they first announced that. And then when Triple H says, no, it was me, you actually watch the footage again, and there's like an unedited version where you see that Rikishi swaps with Triple H and Triple H does it. Like, yeah, see,
that's just
right.
Poor story writing. Like, come on.
Yeah, so, you know, I'm
like, you could have, re-show the original footage and then pan around to have Triple H standing there, but to
right. Then also,
ick.
this Triple H and Austin feud, which was happening at the time, right? You sort of have Austin come back and you do the whole Austin cost Triple H thing, whatever. Then Austin, wins the 3 stages of hell match in 2001, and then that's that. He goes on to feud with The Rock. Like, this feud didn't matter. None of this mattered. All it was write Austin off TV.
So he can go get his neck surgery.
Yeah, but we're going to do this whole big thing, which should...
Look, in fairness to them, I can see why they didn't put maybe as much effort into it as they should have. I mean, like, I can see why no effort's gone into it because it was like a small thing. It was like, we need to get rid of him, hit him with the car. That's a good way to do it. We need to bring him back in. We can't just forget the car thing happened, so let's do a little thing with that. But there's sort of an all or nothing thing here where like either a feud needed to come out of this that made really good sense and some really cool stuff happened, or just, sort of he's recovered from his car thing, he's back, and just do nothing with it,
Yeah.
would be better. I mean, I kind of, I guess they've sort of hit this weird middle ground where they've done something with it, but they haven't put enough effort into it to make it good. And so it's just...
Well, their biggest issue was that they didn't get Rikishi over. That's where the issue really comes into it. If Rikishi got over, then everything would have been fine. But
it would have been like, hey, I hit you with the car for me, and I guess, yeah.
Yeah, like, you know, you would have had the Rikishi Austin feud, and then that would have gone off into whatever. Because everybody didn't buy Rikishi as that,
Um,
because before that, let me recall what was Rikishi. He was dancing around with Too Cool, wearing a thong and sunglasses, and that was his gimmick. So
he was not a villain and definitely not hitting anybody with a car.
no, and so yeah, when everybody went, hey, that's the dude that we like dancing. Everybody sort of just went, he didn't hit him with it, did he? No, no,
No,
we don't buy this. And then Triple H went, no, it was me all along. And, well, it didn't quite work. So,
yeah,
I think I should rebook this.
please.
How do we rebook this? Well, we've got a lot of directions we can take.
Absolutely.
We could, you know, straight away not do Rikishi. You can say that Triple H or The Rock did it because they were also in the match.
My immediate thoughts.
They, you know, they thought that the match would be a one-on-one match because they took Austin out.
Yeah.
Or you can bring in somebody new to hit him with a car so that they're immediately brought in. I'm the one that took out one of the top guys in the company. Makes them feel like a big deal. And I mean, I wonder who that could have been. Maybe somebody who debuted at Survivor Series 1999, might have won the 1996 Olympic gold medal in wrestling with a broken freaking neck. Might be Kurt Angle. That would certainly put him at the top of the card, I think. Just a thought, you know. But yeah, I mean, it's a little bit cheating if you just do that though. So let's go with Rikishi because that is what happened. Because I mean, you can do Rikishi as long as you book it right.
Could we have also done could we have also done Big Show?
Yeah, possibly. Yeah,
To
Big Show.
to get himself into that match?
Yeah, he thought taking him. Yeah, you could do that.
But please, Rikishi.
Yeah, Rikishi, because I think that's a lot more fun because we're taking what happened and just changing it.
Yeah.
So he actually did it for The Rock. Like he did in real life. I did it for The Rock. Rock says, I didn't want or need your help. And at No Mercy, we get Rikishi versus Austin in the Holds Barred match, like in real life. Everything plays out like real life. But instead of Austin being stopped by officials from running Rikishi over with a truck, instead he gets into the truck and Rock attacks Austin. So where they tried to do it where he got in the truck and then, got stopped from getting in the truck to run Rikishi over. He does actually get in there, but Rock shows up and attacks him. And that's easily explained. Why did The Rock do this? They're family. All right? I've got a little note here. I should insert Dom from Fast and Furious.
I was literally about to say insert Fast and Furious name here, please.
If I remember, I'll do it. So anyway, we've got this no holds barred match going on, and Rikishi wins it. Austin would then attack Rock during the main event, which was a no DQ match in real life. That would give Kurt Angle the win. So that's good because Kurt Angle's good. At Survivor Series, we get a 2-on-1 match between Austin, Rock, and Rikishi. I think we should do a gauntlet style match where you beat one, then the next one comes out. And you start with Rock and Austin because everybody wants Rock and Austin. You get a very competitive match, but Rock gets DQ'd when Rikishi attacks Austin, so that leads to Rikishi beating Austin. So that's twice now. Rikishi has actually beaten Stone Cold. maybe that would make him look a little bit strong. Austin seeks revenge, says that at Rebellion he wants to fight either The Rock or Rikishi in a steel cage, so that the other one can't get involved. And that leads to Rikishi beating Austin when Rikishi puts his puts his ass through the cage door, allowing Rock to get in to the cage and help win. Because, like I said, Rikishi has a fat ass.
Yeah, right.
Considering he wore a thong and danced. He's got
It's
a
part of
fat
his little
ass.
gimmick.
Yeah. You obviously don't know what Rikishi looks like, but that is
The boy
his...
dummy thick.
That is his finisher is called the stink face, where he would literally rub his ass up against your face.
Yep, sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
So at Armageddon, we get the Armageddon Hell in a Cell match that we do in real life, and it goes the same way, except instead of Angle retaining, Rock wins, pins Austin to win. At the Royal Rumble, it goes the same way as real life, except Triple H doesn't attack Austin when he's coming out, and Rock does. Kurt Angle takes Rock's spot in the Rumble, because Rock's obviously the champion. Austin wins, granting him a shot at the Rock's title at WrestleMania. So that sets that up still. That's fine. At No Way Out, instead of getting 3 stages of hell with Triple H, we instead get 3 stages of hell with Rikishi, with the added stipulation that if Austin wins, Rikishi's banned from the arena at Mania. If Rikishi wins, he takes Austin's spot. Obviously, Austin wins. At Mania, you get Rock and Austin no DQ, like in real life, and it goes the same way as real life, except Austin doesn't turn heel. Because why would you do that? Also, when the ref goes down, Rikishi attempts to attack Austin, but Austin stops it. And after Mania, Austin goes off, does his thing with the Rock and Rikishi, does his thing, and Rock and Rikishi can challenge with the tag belts or something. So that ends the feud there, right? You've ended the feud with Rikishi at No Way Out in the 3 stages of hell. You've done the Rock and Austin at Mania, and that's that. Austin can piss off and do his thing, maybe against Triple H, and Rock and Rikishi can go after the tag belts. You've got a new tag team.
Yeah.
And obviously, none of this had Rikishi winning the world title, because he's just not believable to win the world title.
To win.
But it keeps him looking strong because he's beaten Austin multiple times, and putting him in a tag team with The Rock should give him more legitimacy. And if they win the tag belts, they win the tag belts. Cool. There's no issue there.
That's cool as shit.
Now, obviously, there's been a few changes. You don't get the 3 stages of hell with Triple H, which is good.
A bit of a favourite.
Yeah, it's quite good. And you also don't get the heel turn from Austin, because we don't want that. Which means that, you don't get the 2-man power trip with Triple H. Okay. And Austin's not a heel when the invasion starts, which is probably a good thing. Although you don't get all the funny Kurt Angle and Stone Cold stuff that we get during the invasion, which are actually quite funny. Little cowboy hats and ukuleles. Very funny. So, what do you think of my rebooking?
Crikey. You've put a lot of detail into this one. You've really planned it out event by event.
Yeah.
Which is good. It was a more subtle rebooking than previous ones, where we've just had this big terrible idea that just needs completely changing. You've had to make some more subtle changes to make Rikishi believable as our heel, because as you outlined, that was sort of our main problem here.
Yeah.
You couldn't, if he wasn't believable as a heel, this whole thing doesn't work.
Yeah. And like I said at the start, you can have, you can go in so many different ways. You can go The Rock, Triple H, like you said, Big Show. You know, and you could also do Kurt Angle, like I said. You know, that's 4 people who could have done it straight off the bat.
And that's like to keep it simple to avoid all this other stuff.
Yeah, you know, that's 2 people in the match who just want to win the belt, obviously. A third person who obviously we see in real life replaced Austin, so you could do the same thing there, and he replaces Austin, and that was his play. Or you can do Kurt Angle, like I said, who's debuting on the same show, and you automatically, well, I mean, you're not catapulting him up there until Austin comes back anyway, so you've still got a year and a half or so.
His debut's something cool.
Yeah, well, his debut and everything's going to stay the same because you're not going to know about this until Austin comes back. So,
true.
But you can just do what you're doing with him, and obviously he's not really had much training or anything. He's obviously an Olympic gold medalist with a broken freaking neck, but he's not had the WWE training sort of thing. He's not gone through the system or anything. He's just shown up on WWE and is just really good. So you can sort of, make people, you can introduce him to people without putting him in the spotlight. And then after a year or so, now you put him in the spotlight. And people should like that. I mean, it's Kurt Angle. You know, but, yeah, like I said, with Rikishi, you just need to make him the believable heel. Which, by just going, I did it for The Rock, and everybody going, so, what does that do? By doing this, you're giving him heat, you're giving him, you know, wins over Austin to make him look strong, and in the end, you have Rock actually help him. So then it sort of comes full circle. He helped The Rock.
Teaming.
Yeah. And you can even spin that off, you know, when that happens, like The Rock's there going, oh, I denied it because why would I admit to that? But we were. You know, we've always been, we're family after all. We insert Fast and Furious. You know, and you can spin it off that way. And there's so many different spots where just changing little things, subtle things, it creates so much more story instead of The Rock doesn't know what Rikishi's doing. Rikishi knew what he was doing, sort of, but Triple H did it, sort of.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it just doesn't make any sense.
Nah.
And that was the big issue. It just didn't make sense. So, how does this help WWE? Well, the story's not stupid.
Trash.
It's easy to follow because you're not doubling back on yourself at all. It creates a new star in Rikishi, hopefully. Should get more viewers, which should mean more money. You know?
Which is always what we're looking for.
Yeah, you know, like Vince said to Paul Heyman, make me money. That's all Vince wants. So yeah, that is it for this video. Like, share, subscribe, channel, hit notification bell for the Facebook, X, and Twitch. Now
he did it, ladies and gentlemen.
He did it. He did it. Then forgot.
Fucked his flow.
Yeah,
it's completely fucked his flow.
Yeah. Sid, say goodbye.
See you guys.
And good night.